There is a legend said to date back thousands of years, and reference a mythical land that can be found in various ancient texts. This legend comes with a prophecy. When the gradual deterioration of mankind, as the ideology of materialism spreads over the earth, and barbarian forces who follow this ideology are united under an evil leader, and think there is nothing left to conquer, the mists will lift to reveal the snowy mountains of an ancient city. This evil force will attack with a huge army, equipped with terrible weapons. Then the king of this city will emerge from this ancient place with a huge army to vanquish those dark forces and usher in a worldwide golden age. Some believe that we are about to leave these times.
The legend of Shambhala has been one of the favorite motives of Tibetan Buddhism and similar religions throughout the centuries. It's a mythical paradise spoken of in the Kalachakra Tantra and the ancient scriptures of the Zhangzhung culture, which predated Tibetan Buddhism. For some, Shambhala represents a mystical country, revealing itself only to the chosen ones, while others perceive it as a symbol of the hidden treasures of the heart. Shambhala is said to be the land of 1,000 names. It's been called the Forbidden Land, the Land of White Waters, Land of Radiant Spirits, Land of Living Fire, Land of the Living Gods, and Land of Wonders. The Hindus call it Aryavarsha, and to the Russians it is known as Belovodaya. But throughout Asia, it is best known by its Sanskrit name, Shambhala, which can be roughly translated as place of peace or place of silence. The etymology of Shambhala suggests something profoundly divine, deriving from Persian roots meaning elevated candle or divine light. Sham is Persian for candle or light, and Bala means elevated, raised, or divine. Another name for Shambhala is Shangri-La. If we take out the H, we get Sangrila, which is very similar to the Portuguese word Sangra. Its root Sangral means Holy Grail, connecting this legend of Shambhala to the Holy Grail itself, which we will explore in a future episode. According to Tibetan descriptions, the kingdom of Shambhala is shaped like a gigantic 8-petaled lotus. Around the perimeter of the lotus is a circular range of lofty, snow-covered mountains. Between the 8 petals of the lotus are 8 lower mountain ranges, along which flow the rivers of Shambhala. There are 120 million cities in each of the petals of the lotus, making 960 million cities altogether. The center of Shambhala is surrounded by a smaller range of snow mountains, and within this inner ring sits Kapala, the capital of Shambhala. In Kapala, there are magnificent palaces constructed with precious metals and gems, gold and silver. Only the pure of heart can live in Shambhala. It's a place where love and wisdom reigns, and where people are immune to suffering, toil, and old age. There is no war or fighting. It's said that all of them are extremely wealthy, but have no need to use their wealth. It is written, luminous, immense, verdant, stately, and eternal. The kingdom of Shambhala is hidden, a towering range of impenetrable, glistening snow mountains, formed from time, frozen by the anger, lust, and ignorance of egoic fixation, completely surrounds it. In each province, farms, forests, lakes, and towns adorn the land, as dew in sunlight sparkles on a lotus's outstretched petals. This is the land where the intrinsic sacredness of humanity has never been lost, and is always whole.
Shambhala is not an ordinary country or realm. Although those with special affiliation may actually be able to go there through their karmic connection, nevertheless is not a physical place that we can actually find. We can only say that it's a pure land in the human realm, and unless one has the merit, one cannot actually arrive there. The Kala Chakra prophesies a future war, but this does not conflict with the vows of Buddhist teachings that prohibit violence. We must understand and interpret the war symbolically. The Kala Chakra is not advocating violence against people, but only refers to the inner battle of the human race against inner demonic tendencies. Even the Christian Bible refers to this same subject. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Over many centuries, numerous explorers and seekers of spiritual wisdom have embarked on expeditions and quests in search of the mythical paradise of Shambhala. And while many have claimed to have been there, no one has yet provided any evidence of its existence, or been able to pinpoint its physical location on a map. Such pure domain demands protection and secret. For that reason, false breadcrumbs were given away to distract the mind of the unpure, making them run in circles, for they were never worthy of such a prize.
The Tibetans maintain that the king of the world resides in Shambhala and has been patiently waiting for hundreds and thousands of years for an opportunity to lead his army out of his kingdom to destroy the darkness that covers the world during its final days. The king of the world possesses a giant glass mirror that enables him to see all that is happening miles away. He is in touch with all the thoughts of those who direct the destiny of mankind. He knows their true intentions and ideas. According to the 20th century explorer Nicholas Roerich, the king of the world is the true authority on earth, and reference to him can be found in every tradition. He is associated with the name Manu amongst the Hindus, Metatron among the Kabbalists, and Melchizedek in the Judeo-Christian tradition. His abode is sometimes called Agartha, a place analogous to the Siddhashram of the yogis, or the Shambhala of the Tibetan Buddhists. The very real fact of the king of the world has been buried out of sight in the West or distorted by supposing that the king is an authority solely of the material domain. The true king of the world unifies both material and spiritual authority in himself, and is not a satanic or even demiurgic principle. While the ancient texts don't specifically make this connection, Shambhala is at the center of Bhumandala, the Vedic depiction of the universe. Mount Meru in various accounts stands high in the center of Shambhala, as well as in the center of Bhumandala. Mount Sumeru, or Meru, is a huge sacred mountain in the center of the universe, which supports the heavens and passes through the center of the earth. On the vertical axis of Meru lies all planes of existence, laying on top of one another. In the Buddhist mythology, Mount Meru exists at the same time in both the physical and the spiritual plane, and the golden palace of the gods is located on top. It is surrounded by 7 rings of golden mountains, each separated from each other by sea. Above Meru rise a series of heavens, growing increasingly ethereal as they ascend, and below are a series of torturous hells. It is guarded at the 4 cardinal points by 4 celestial guardians, who defend the world by keeping away the fallen gods. Mount Meru depictions extend far outside Tibetan Buddhism and the myths of Shambhala, which suggests that the cosmology of Shambhala, being at the center of our flat realm, at the North Pole, may not be so far from the truth.
Shambhala cannot be located in the mountainous regions of Eurasia, or in India, or in Siberia, and definitely not hidden inside a remote abandoned monastery in Tibet, claimed to be guarded by beings known as the Shambhala Guardians. None of these places can hold 120 million cities. Therefore, the size of this hidden realm is impossible to describe, and to protect it was placed out of the eyes of the ordinary man, and its location removed from our cartography.
The Hindu parallels of Shambhala are so strikingly similar that they might put into question the origin of the Tibetan myth. According to the Hindus, the periods of darkness and golden age constantly succeed one another. The Puranas state, wealth and piety will decrease day by day until the world will be wholly depraved. Then property alone will confer rank. Wealth will be the only source of devotion. Passion will be the sole bond of union between the sexes. falsehood will be the only means of success of litigation. Doesn't this sound like the world we're in today? We are, after all, in the Iron Age, in the final days of the Kali Yuga. Hindu mythology states, when the Dark Ages have reached their lowest point, Vishnu the Preserver manifests himself in human form. He will reincarnate as Kalki in Shambhala and lead the great army against the evil forces. He will then re-establish righteousness upon earth, and the minds of those who live at the end of the age of strife shall be awakened, and shall be pellucid as crystal. The men who are thus changed by virtue of that peculiar time shall be as seeds of human beings, and shall give birth to a race who shall follow the laws of the golden age of purity. In our opinion, this is an allegory. The living, righteous souls in these outer lands are the manifested aspects of Vishnu. We are those who will be undertaking the most glorious of all pursuits, getting to the center, to the North Pole, to Shambhala, and therefore re-establishing a new golden age.
Humanity has lost its place in the world, lives in permanent oblivion. Something has been missing, but few know what has been lost to them. Humans have failed to follow the heart, and instead follow a mind that when disengaged from its center is broken and sick. For some, the forgetting of their divine roots is a blessing, but for the elect, the urgency to return is more evident day after day. We have already found what has been forgotten, and now it's time for you to find out too. This oblivion will not last. It's time to remember.